How about another pinch of round of 16? A dollop, if you will. Yes, whatever. We're moving on to ZerO versus Hwasin. Oh, this is going to be a good one. This is this is the most unpredictable group in the OSL right now because it's very hard to tell who's going to move out of this group. Even the opinionated people, the opinionated Nukanites in the comment section of my preview video couldn't really figure out Group B. A lot of people were saying that this is the group of death just because each player is pretty much at the same level, the same skill level, so I think that's going to make for some awesome matches. This group may not have the same name recognition as some of the other groups, but yeah, you better believe this is going to be a great group. Starting it off with ZerO carrying the soul of GG Play. Now that GG Play has retired because of carpal tunnel syndrome, I think that ZerO really is carrying that torch. He plays very similarly, has the same kind of all-around great Zerg play, excellent Defiler play that GG Play had. So yes, he even looks a little bit like GG Play actually. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Heartbreak Ridge 2-player map. Yes, if you remember, I kind of compared GG Play to ZerO in my Broodling Bloodlines video. But that's beside the point. Over here at the 9 o'clock position in orange is ZerO. That means over at the 4 o'clock position in red is Hwasin. Now, I've watched some Hwasin games recently, one in particular against Stork, the ace game against Stork, where it was STX versus Samsung Khan. And yeah, it was some of the most potent fail I've ever seen in a game. There was one particular moment of that game where Hwasin he failed so miserably, and it was such a simple little thing, he just didn't keep his eye on it. I won't spoil the surprise in case you haven't seen that, so you can go watch that and see how badly Hwasin failed at one particular aspect of the game. I don't think there's a huge spoiler to say that Stork beat Hwasin anyway. I mean, it's Stork, and it's Hwasin. I'm not sure why they put out Hwasin for the ace match. It was a very peculiar choice. They were probably expecting like Miracle to go out or something. I don't know. SDX is kind of baffling in their decisions sometimes. Like all the other teams, really. Here comes the spawning pool up for ZerO, an overpool build from him, which is smart. It's not usually that smart to go for a fast expand on a 2-player map. I mean, so many things could go wrong, so that's why you don't see a lot of players going for a fast expand, even Zerg players. Except versus Protoss, of course. There's the barracks coming up, and Hwasin is going to completely wall off into his natural area. Okay, let's get some predictions from the Nukanites during the downtime here. This one's from Reneg86. He writes, or she writes, whatever. Fantasy, Flash, and Hwasin will destroy everyone. I think we have a Terran fan there. But anyways, Jackal327 writes, ZerO, the Jaedong of his team, will crush everyone. Okay, they can't both crush everyone, so someone's going to have to go down here unless we see some kind of a tie like that Jangbi versus Flash game where there was just Flash had floated off all of his buildings, neither player wanted to attack. But yeah, that so very rarely happens in a Zerg game. Any Zerg matchup, you rarely see that kind of thing. But it looks like ZerO's going out with his initial Zergling. He's going to try to put on a little bit of pressure at Hwasin's front door while he goes in with his Overlord trying to scout what Hwasin's doing. Hwasin is putting down a fast expansion. Very, very risky play from him. He feels confident to fight off the initial Zerglings from ZerO. He knows that ZerO is a very heavily macro-focused player, so he can pretty much safely assume that ZerO is not going to go for any crazy kind of all-in strategy. It's not really what ZerO is known for. I'm calling him Hero already. Hero's not even in this competition, but yeah, Hwasin, he's going to have to pull in some more SCVs to repair this. One SCV is not going to be enough. Coming in, clutch second SCV, and the third should be able to defend this against any number of Zerglings. And in the meantime, ZerO was being picked at by the Marines, so took a little bit of damage. Didn't get too much done there, but yeah, that was pretty close. Hwasin pulling in his SCVs just in time to repair. You see how good it is to repair, Hwasin? Okay, that was below the belt. Sorry, Hwasin, But yes, that supply depot is still in the yellow, but Hwasin deciding it's not worth the extra minerals to try to repair it right now. Even though it's a good bet that ZerO is going to try to break that later if it's still in the yellow. But Hwasin is going around trying to see if ZerO is trying to break through his minerals behind his natural, but he is not. So he's going to see that and feel a little bit safer in that fact. Here comes the lair from ZerO finally. So ZerO is kind of committing himself more to drones, trying to drone up because he knows he's going to have to compete economically. 2-base Zerg does not work very well against a 2-base Terran. At least, it works well. It works out for a little while, but not in the long run, of course. Terrans can stay in 3 bases pretty much the entire game. So, yeah, ZerO is going to have to expand all over the place soon. Second extractor coming up, so I think we're going to see a pretty standard 3-hatch Mutalisk build from ZerO. He put a second hatchery at the front just to make it harder for Hwasin to break through the natural if Hwasin does decide to push in. Hwasin is very much known for his early attacks. That is how Hwasin got himself into the last OSL. It's pretty much how he got into this OSL. Just some very early attacks, good aggression. And a lot of newer players can't handle that because they're so used to going for the macro game, getting their bases up. They practice all day, getting their bases up. Oh, nice, clean little build, know the timings to everything. And when a aggressive strategy comes in, it really throws off their game because they don't have the timings down anymore. ZerO, that attack of the barracks is pretty much just to see what Hwasin had over there. He's kind of in the dark right now. He's trying to get some scouting. He got the scout on that one medic, so he's going to know at least that Hwasin is preparing for a push of some kind. For a Sunken Buster, although expanding this early means the Sunken Buster is going to be somewhat late, and ZerO will definitely be able to deal with that. Speed upgrade for those Zerglings, so the Zergling's going to run out and maybe try to intercept those Marines, those Midgame Marines when they try to move out. And Hwasin deciding it's safe to lift off his barracks. He's going to go out, probably try to kill some Zerglings, get some early advantage there. ZerO running up. Oh, he decides that he doesn't want to do the surround. He has way too few Zerglings to do that surround with the medic in the area now. ZerO playing it safe. He has one sunken, and one creep colony that he'll morph into a sunken if Hwasin gets too close. But what ZerO has to do right now is just hover around with those Zerglings and make sure that Hwasin isn't attacking, which can be very difficult to do. You could lose some Zerglings in the process, but it is essential for modern ZVT to know where the Terran ball of troops is. Because if the Terran ball of troops sneaks up into your natural, you are completely screwed, especially if he's not going to morph that second creep colony into a sunken. This is what I've noticed about ZerO recently, is that he seems very intent on not building too many sunkens. He always has creep colonies all over the place just in case, but he does not morph them to sunkens. Takes a lot of minerals to morph into a sunken, and really puts the Zerg behind. Second bunker in the area, so Hwasin, he is very much protected. He has a very good defensive grid going, getting a second turret in the area, and that second turret will protect all of his barracks. Even though that one barracks is kind of on fire, I would assume if it were in red, he would have repaired it right now. That kind of assumption might be bad to make after that Stort game. But, yeah, I think he's going to be pretty safe from Mutalisk harassment for the time being. He has STEM research. He has plenty of medics out to protect his Marines. And I think the ZerO might try to run in here with those Zerglings, but it will be very tough to break this. Oh, ZerO going in, finding another turret, so he's backing off, deciding it's not worth it to run in with all of his troops just yet, although he definitely could still do that. As I said, he's picking at that yellow supply depot, and Hwasin now trying to go in and repair that finally. Get it back up to yellow maybe. Oh, ZerO losing a Mutalisk, trying to be a bit too cavalier and take that supply depot down. If he'd run in with a few more Zerglings, I think he probably would have been able to take it down, but that wouldn't have supply blocked Hwasin for long. ZerO finally trying to come in and get some damage done, picking off a tank. So that's going to delay the push for a long time. That's going to be extremely important for ZerO. ZerO trying to pick off the turrets. He could be staying in here a little bit too long, though. The Marines are coming in to pick off the Mutas. But yeah, I think that ZerO will pretty much be reinforcing this Mutalist squad until the Lurkers come out. I think he's going to switch to Lurker tech because this doesn't look like an all-in Mutalist attack to me. He doesn't have a ton of Mutas flying in to reinforce this. So, oh, another Mutalist going down. Hwasin picking off another Muta. Hwasin is preparing a push. He's going to push out from these two bases, and while he pushes out with this, he's going to try to get his third base. But yeah, it's going to be a little while before he's able to do that since ZerO sniped that tank. That was smart thinking on ZerO's part. Most other Zergs would have probably just gone for the SCV line.